Hi everyone, Liz here, thanks for stopping by. So I'm going to do a whip and chat with a difference. My work in progress, is actually sealing some more of my items from my Smash in the Specials 2021, which ended on the 31st of August. So I've got a few bits and pieces left over. I've had a request to show sealing my wreaths. Forgot what they were then, just sat looking at me. I've also sneaked in an extra little one that I did a while ago that I thought I had sealed and I haven't, and this is one of these little evening bags, chain link bag. It's not very big, but it's handy if you're just popping out to the shops and you want to put your phone and your purse or whatever. It's just like a not waterproof, but like a vinyl lining on the inside. It's black, so it's white proof if you spill anything on it. Yeah, just do a quick measure. I don't think I opened this on my channel. It was one that I got when I also bought my granddaughter one for her birthday. If I can find it, I'll put a photograph of her completed one as well. I think they were from Amazon. They weren't overly expensive. I'll put the link down below for them because, as I say, I've not opened these. So they're about 20 centimetres, 19 centimetres at the widest, which is about 7.5 inches at the widest that way, by about 17 centimetres that way, which is about 6.5 inches. Oh dear, getting my inches and centimetres muddled up. And then what is that, about 2.5 centimetres, about an inch width on it. So it was quite a nice little bag, and I just thought, oh, it's something I can just take out with me. As it is now, I tend to have more of a suitcase or a mountaineering rucksack with me when I go out, because I have so much to take out with us these days. But yeah, so I'm going to seal that one. So it's got a good long chain on it, as you can see, so it will go over your shoulder and this will come off. I suppose you could knot it and just use it as like a clutch bag, you know, just put a knot in it there and it would be a bit short of the handle. It's a bit strange actually. It was the one thing that I did think, that's odd. Maybe it's just me, but it's got a gold chain and a gold zip and it's all blue and silver. I think it would have looked better with a silver chain. If I find one, I'll maybe swap it over, but it's very pretty and I love the colours. The blue is really, really sparkly on that, so that's that one. And then I'm going to seal my beet wreath and my all seasons wreath there, which I did do. That was the first one that I completed in August for Smashing the Specials. I will just show you as well, I've realised brilliantly for me, maybe you already knew this, that this is a scrapbooking storage container, and I've got quite a few of these from when I was doing my crafting to hold my 12 by 12 papers. So it shows a bit better that way. I know it's always longer one way than it is the other, so you can get your fingers in to get the paper out, because otherwise you would be bending your paper all the time if it fitted exactly in. But it fits all the wreaths. So I've got my Christmas wreath in here, I've got my owl tin in here, and then I've got all my other Christmas wreaths and my Christmas stars, and there's my snowman, and then I've got two of those. Don't ask me why I've got two of those, oh dear, hey ho. And then I've got my Christmas tree in the bottom as well, so that they don't bend, but it's just an ideal storage just to stop them from bending. I haven't got to contend with having those boxes, because the boxes would stack, well, about the same size as one of these storage boxes, so I thought that was quite good. And then these will fit in as well if I want to change them out. So I've got another one that I've got completed ones in, and I just, as I decide I want that one on the wall and I want that one on the wall, I just swap them in and out, and it's just somewhere to keep them nice and tidy. But yeah, that was just something, again, repurposing from my card making days. I've not got much 12 by 12 card and paper left, so I just thought, oh, I wonder if those wreaths will fit in, because they're like 30 centimetres by 30 centimetres, which is a 12 by 12 inch piece of paper, and yes they do. So just a little handy tip there. Okay, just put that over there. So what shall we start with? Let's start with the awkward ones first. Okay. Oh, and I've got my little dog jacket as well that I did on Smashing the Specials, and the little mat. I'm just going to seal that as well. Be interesting to see. Oh look, that one's moved off already. You see, if you don't seal things, then the gems can start to move. It is a particularly hot day for the UK today, and we're having a mini heat wave, so I'm absolutely mafting, as we say here. I think it might be a whole word. I'm using, means you're very, very hot and sticky. I'm using Crystal Art Sealer. This is the 150ml. This is a new pot that I've opened this week from Smashing the Specials. As you can see, I've used quite a bit, but a little does go a long way. I've got my 2 brushes, which are my Rare Earth dusting brush, which is really again for crafting, but I find it's brilliant for putting my sealer on. And then this one again is another paintbrush, and I've just dotted myself with it. Let's just put that on there to start off with. There we go. Okay, but I'm going to use the smaller brush for this one because it's a bit more intricate. Excuse my hand, it's still not healed. I've got some extra layer on it at the moment. It will eventually heal. I've just got very bad healing skin. Okay, so we're just going to, it's like painting, just paint all over here and make sure it goes in between the gems. The sealer is basically like if you were grouting tiles, you know, you just putting it in between your gems and round your gems. Doesn't matter if it goes over the top because it does dry clear. I quite like the fact that it's quite white when you put it on, because at least then you know where you've put some. But I would think today this is going to dry so fast. As I say, we're up to 80s again temperatures for the UK, which for September isn't brilliant. I mean, it's great if you're on holiday, but unfortunately all the children have gone back to school end of last week, beginning of this week, and it's just typical. It's like you can guarantee the first day of the school holidays it rains, and then when the poor little lassies and lads go back to school, that it's absolutely brilliant sunshine, and they've all got the new uniforms on and the new blazers and the trousers. Even all the girls seem to wear trousers these days, or thick tights. We had to have knee socks. We were only allowed to wear ankle socks in summer, but we couldn't wear tights. Gosh, mind you, our mums couldn't afford to have tights. I should think that they ladder pretty quickly when you're at school. But yeah, all the poor children gone back to school in all their new uniform, looking really, really smart, and they'll all be hot and sticky. And I think they all wear ties as well now. No, the boys in our senior year wore ties, but the girls didn't have to wear ties when I was at senior school, so we were lucky. But we had these like blue and white check nylon shirts. Oh, and they were awful. They just used to cling to you, and you just used to feel yicky all day. But oh, the longing of school days. I think a lot of them wear polo shirts now, which are a lot more sensible, particularly for the little ones. At least they can move around a little bit more and not quite so restricted. Albeit when I was at primary school and junior school, we didn't have uniforms. It was only when we went to senior school that we got uniforms. Do you have uniforms at your schools? We never had a blazer either. I always wanted a blazer, but I did have a satchel. I loved my satchel. Proper good satchel, because I used to go to school on my bike, so it was great to put on my back. That was in the days before all these backpacks with all your favourite singers and celebrities and whatever they are. Sound ancient now. But yeah, we had ones with our school badge on, and we all thought we were really important. We really liked our school satchels. Oh dear me. But they were handy, and you could get a lot in them. Albeit they weren't very good when you got, say, hockey boots in. I loved playing hockey. That was my game. Get out there with that hockey stick, and it's when we used to do bully off as well. That's where you do the ground stick, and then whack it. I was a bit naughty. I used to whack ankles. But you always got the ball if you whacked the ankles. It's like ground stick, ankle, boomf. And yeah, I got stopped from doing that. Hey ho. That was a long time ago. I don't suppose I could do it now. Running up and down the stairs just about gets me out of breath these days. I certainly won't be able to run up and down a hockey pitch. Alright, I think we've just about covered that. As I say, because it's white, you can see where you've been. If any of the gems come off, you can just use your tweezers and then just go and put them back. Just put a little tiny blob of your sealer into where the gem should go and just put it back in, and it will seal again. So that's that one done. They do take, I mean, they'll still be tacky for a few hours, but I tend to leave everything overnight once I've sealed it. But it does dry completely clear. I will show you when they're all done, just in case you don't believe me. I must admit, when you first do one, you think, oh, that's never going to dry clear, and oh, what's it going to look like? Craft Buddy, the demonstrators for Craft Buddy do recommend that you use a dry baby wipe or a non-lint cloth to just wipe over the top. But I've always found I haven't needed to. I think it's just personal preference. I find that it just dries clear anyway, so it's just something extra and just getting messier for no reason, because I am very messy. I've already blobbed myself with this glue once. So yeah, I'm just going to go lightly over these, because as you saw earlier, one of them had moved, so they are likely to move. Just lightly brush over, just make sure that the glue goes in between each one, and you're just sort of sealing it in place, really. I have got some Mod Podge. I will give that a go. It's the extra glossy Mod Podge I've got. There is a sparkly one as well that has glitter in it. I've not tried that one. If I can get hold of some, I will have a go with it. I've heard mixed reports on it. Some people think it dulls your canvas down and it's not very good, and others think it's marvellous. So I think it will depend on your canvas. It may depend on the content of your picture. I'm sure if you're doing something like a rainbow or a unicorn or something like that, then having sparkle on it, as long as it's not dulling your gems, particularly a special gem, special drill project, then it would probably look quite nice. But if you've got something, I'm just going to take that extra off there. So it shouldn't make any difference to the black, but we'll just wait and see. I just need to put a little bit there as well. Just put a little bit extra there. What you find is with these specials, that when they put the glue on, the poured glue on for the special, it does tend to be around the gem. So you'll find that extra bits are sticky. I'll show you on that little pug that I've got there on the dog vest. Yeah, so I will just scrape these edges because I don't want lumps forming along here. But as I say, it's not strictly necessary, it is just personal choice if you want to take your excess off or not. I don't think it will dull down this, mainly because when I've done my notebook, sorry, I'm just going to wipe my fingernails and a tissue. When I've done the notebooks, it's not dulled down the notebooks, but we will see how it goes. But yeah, we're just going to go across these. So get in between each one. Do it nice and gently. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing okay. I wonder what the weather is like where you are. I know there's been floods and heat waves and goodness knows what going on. All to do with this climate change. My little 7-year-old granddaughter can tell you all about that. She's going to be an eco warrior, I think, when she gets older. She's wanting to go picking up rubbish, and it's difficult not to have her collecting the rubbish up. Trying to explain to a 7-year-old that that rubbish at the side of the road, although it looks nasty, might also have nasty things in it, and you might not be well advised to pick it up. We'll get her at a grabber. I mean, she'll maybe go on one of these. I think the school organise things sometimes so that they can go on like litter picks and things. But yeah, she's... Don't know whether I told you when we got... one of the neighbours has just popped in. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm back now. Yeah, we got a game of Kaplunk, which is the one where you have the sticks and the marbles. And yeah, she was just gonna take this excess off on this side. Just take that off there. Right, so that's that one done. So we'll see how that goes. I've been given a few ideas of what to do with this. I think it was Jeanette said make it into a name plaque. Use drills and put some drills on it and use it as a name, or write in white pen on it and put a name on it. So that would be quite pretty. But yeah, I'll let you know if I come up with anything else and what I'm going to do with it. Right, let's do this little vest next. Okay, so yeah, I was telling you, I'll show you. Right, so let's do this next. So yeah, this little vest, I think I showed you when I did my Smashing the Specials wrap up. That is sticky. I think at some point they've been going to put drills on there, and then they've changed their mind. So it's sticky sort of around the tongue and the eyes and everything. None of that is sticky, but those flowers are really sticky. So I'm going to do this one. It's... Shall I put... I think I ought to put something underneath there, really. I've got a bit of foam there, just in case I do get it onto the material, and then I'm not actually, and it'll just stretch it a little bit as well, and then I'm not actually yet going through onto the other side with it. So I'm going to use the small brush still for this, and we're just going to do all the way over the little pug, turn the pug white. So yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Kaplunk game. So yeah, it comes with like sticks and marbles, and you have to put the sticks in and put the marbles on top. I'll put a picture in. I'm not sure if it's called Kaplunk in other countries, but yeah, certainly in Great Britain it's called Kaplunk. I had one when I was little, so that's how old it was. It's an antique. And yeah, it's changed quite a bit from when we played it, but yeah, our daughter took it out and she said, oh, it's the straws are plastic. Well, little granddaughter's face, plastic straws? You can't have plastic straws, they've got to be paper. And then we had to explain that no, they're actually like sticks, they're just called straws in the game, they're not an actual drinking straw. But yeah, that was quite a tense moment. Plastic straws. So that was quite funny. So, I love kids. They're just so perceptive, but then very innocent on the way they look at things. And yeah, she's really, really funny. So I've been playing her mum up about her shoes. She's got some paint and leather shoes for school, all nice and brightly black shiny shoes, and where the strap meets the shoe, it squeaks. So she refused to wear them because the shoes were squeaking and she couldn't stand the noise. So that's that little puppy done there. So what's the poor mum to do? She puts cooking oil in between the strap and the shoe to stop it squeaking, so it's like oiling the shoe. Oh dear, right, I'm going to use the bigger brush now. But yeah, the things that they get in their little mind. You couldn't possibly wear squeaky shoes to school. They're making too much noise. Oh dear. I think until you become a mum or a grandma or whatever, you don't realise you can ruin somebody's day by giving them a purple cup when they wanted the pink one. Who knew you could ruin somebody's life by giving them a purple cup? over dramatic, but you just love them to bits. That's one thing with Millie, our Scotty, at least she's not talking back. Well, she does talk back to us. We get quite a few wow-wow-roos from her, but yeah, she doesn't demand a lot. As long as she gets lots of hugs and cuddles and gets fed on time, she's fine. We've been out this morning to renew hubby's disability badge, his blue badge. We have a blue badge scheme in the UK for disabled people, and you have to take all this information in and your letters and everything, proof of who you are, and then sign a declaration to say that you're not going to let anybody use your badge illegally. I know particularly in sort of places where parking is very, very expensive and you get disabled people do get free parking, that the badges can sometimes be stolen and people use them illegally. But no, we definitely need one. Yeah, we had a bit of fun parking in the car park. Fortunately, we managed to get at an end because the disabled parking spaces in the car park are just marked as disabled. They're not extra wide, so it's no good if somebody parks next to you because you can't get the doors open wide enough for your wheel to get a wheelchair to get hubby in and out the car. So but we were lucky, we managed to get on an end, and then I had to back the car in, and then I realised I'd back the car in, and because the spaces were so small, I then couldn't get the boot open to get the wheelchair out. All these things that we're having to get used to, things that you don't think of. Say 2 years ago, would never have dreamed that we'd be playing all these games and having to do all these things. But anyway, so I just pulled out into the middle of the car park and everybody just had to wait. I got the wheelchair out, and then when we got back in the car, I had to pull the car out again so that I could get into the boot to get the wheelchair back in. I've got very, very bolshy since I've been looking after hubby, because I get quite cross if people are a bit inconsiderate, shall we say. And it's a lovely sunny day, so people shouldn't have been in a rush really anyway. But the council offices where you get your blue badge are in the library, and they're not letting they're not letting people into the library, presumably still because of COVID. Obviously you've got to wear a mask if we had an appointment to go in about the blue badge. But yeah, so they're using the window, and they've got like the little window at the front open, and I said, oh, do you sell ice creams as well? You know, it was like a little shop with the window open selling ice creams through. Fortunately, she had a good sense of humour. I do speak sometimes before thinking. But yeah, it just looked like a little hatch. Open up and have an ice cream through. Well, I'll have a 99, please. But yeah, oh dear, that was funny. So yeah, you go to this little window and you get your library books booked in and booked out, and they're all got for you, so you can't go and browse in the library. I'll have to have a look online actually and see, maybe you have to order your books, and then when they're ready to pick up, you just go and pick them up and they have them ready, you know, as your name, and that takes away the fun of the library. I used to love going and just looking through the books in the library. And Heddon's a very, very old town. It was actually a town before Hull was a village, which is the main town, well, the main city now along from us. Yeah, we've got all the shipping and everything used to go from here. It's a very, very old town, and I used to love, when I was younger, going up into the archives of the library and reading all the old books, and there was all the old censuses up there as to who used to live where and what work they did and everything, and how small it was. I first moved here in the 70s with my parents, the 1970s, and it's changed tremendously since we lived here. I mean, we moved away a long time ago, and then strangely enough we've ended up moving back. Been here quite a long time again now, but yeah, it's changed quite considerably. But I was never brilliant at history at school. I was never really that interested. I was always more geography and physics and things like that. I like more practical things. But as I've got older, for whatever reason, I just seem to like history. We belong the National Trust, which is all the old houses, stately homes and places, and a few other monuments and things, ancient monuments that you can support and go and see. And yeah, we've been around quite a few. When the children were little, it was always a really good cheap day out, to be honest. I mean, you've got to pay, being members, you've got to pay your annual membership, but once that's paid, you get into all the places free of charge. We didn't have a huge amount of money when the kids were little, so we used to just have, you know, all we had to do was pay petrol, and we used to take packing up. And at that time, I'm presuming they still are, the National Trust were really lovely to children. There'd always be like a treasure hunt or come and find things or something interactive for them to do. So it wasn't just stuffy and boring going round an old house looking at old furniture and pictures. You know, there was always something for the children to do. Oops, my sticker's coming up, look. And yeah, so it was always a cheap day out. We could go, and then we'd have take the football or something and play in the grounds and have our picnic, and it was lovely. We had a real nice day out, a cheap day out as well. No McDonald's and no nattering for expensive ice creams and things. You know, it was great. Got lots of happy memories of summers spent around. Our son used to call them the leaf houses. Are we going to a leaf house today? Because the emblem for the National Trust is an oak leaf, and he used to call them leaf houses. Yeah, so they were getting a bit of history, but also having an awful lot of fun as well. We still belong to the National Trust now, but obviously we're a bit more restricted now. There's only certain ones that will be able to go around with a wheelchair, and certainly a lot of the gardens and places that we used to go to and explore, we won't be able to get to now, sadly. But they do have disabled access in a lot of the places. I know some of the rooms, some of the houses won't let you in with a wheelchair, but that's all new stuff that we've got to find out. We may have found it out last year, but due to COVID and everything being locked down, you know, we didn't get to see it all. Oh, I can't pick this up, goodness me. I'm just trying to pick it up so I don't put gloss on my desk. I've got to give this desk a good wipe down. So I've been crafting this morning. We've got a lot of birthdays in September. And I do apologise. Happy birthday, Rachel. Sorry I forgot to post your card. I've put them the wrong way around on my list. Rachel's is the first, but for whatever reason I've put her as the third on the list. And I've not looked at the dates. I've just looked at the order and thought, right, I need to get that one done first, that one done next. And oh no, I should have done that one first. So I won't make that mistake again. Yeah, I'll blame it on old age. Or the weather. Yeah, blame it on the weather. It's too hot to be remembering things. Dear me. So I'm expecting a delivery today. I found some more little goodies to buy. It's awful. I must stop this buying during the night. Because it's been so hot on a night. It's just the humidity. You're just not getting any cool breeze. Even if you put the fan on, the fan is just literally blowing warm air at you, and it's just awful. Sleeping on top of the bed. But poor little Millie, obviously, she's a little black fairy dog, and she can't take her coat off. And she wants to be upstairs, she wants to be downstairs, she wants to be outside, she wants to be inside. So I think night before last, it was, oh gosh, about 2:30 before I managed to get her settled and get her to sleep. And then last night it was about 1:30. So So I'm shattered, but while I'm sort of like just looking after her, making sure she's okay, obviously I don't want her overheating or getting poorly. Just browse my phone and just have a look and find all sorts of offers. And I'm finding more and more, if you watch my channel you'll know I use the Vipon, VIPON code quite a bit on Amazon. It's deals that are on Amazon, special prices, and I'm finding more and more that the items that are on there, actually when you go onto the actual listing on Amazon, then there's other things as well that are listed, and quite often the company is offering you a coupon anyway for 50% off, so you don't need to use the Vipon coupon. And in some cases I've sort of like added things to my basket and then a few days later ordered it, rather than ordering it in a rush thinking, oh no, I've got to get it while the coupon's still valid. So yeah, and again there has been different variations on things, and I've ordered it that way, so that's been pretty good. Let's say even if you don't want to order using the Vipon code, it might be worthwhile just looking at the items that they've got that are reduced, and looking at the other items that are there. Just getting a build up there, I don't like that. Let me get my other little brush, just see if I can get some of that build up off. That's better. Don't want it building up on the corners, we'll end up with wonky corners. That's better. Okay, yeah, that's better. Found another use for my little green tray. Look, I can use it for my brushes while I'm doing my sealing. Oh, speaking of ceilings, if you remember a couple of videos back I was talking about my fire alarm on the ceiling in the living room that had come down, and we'd tried everything to get it to stick back up, and in the end I used my glue gun, my hot glue gun from my crafting, and yeah, it had silver glitter glue in it. But it's worked, it's stayed up, yay! I'm just gonna have to find some paint now to match the ceiling to cover the silver glitter paint. Otherwise somebody will think we've got a glitter ball, or with the start of a glitter ball on the ceiling, won't they? Think we're going balmy. Wouldn't be the first time. Oh dear. Alright, oh well, we've nearly finished this, and then I'll get on to something else. But I think this is just about all the ones that I've done that I want to get sealed. So this wreath I love because it is all seasons. I'm going to keep this one out, I think, all the time. Where I'm going to put it, I'm not sure. I did get a question about how do I hang them. Last Christmas when I put my Christmas wreaths up, I did use command strips, so then they came off the back of the canvas and they came off the wall as well without making any marks. But I think this one, because I want to possibly move it to different places, and command strips are quite pricey, you know, they're not cheap at all, and I don't want to be, you know, putting them up and then the next week thinking, oh, I'm going to move that somewhere else, because it'll cost me a fortune. So I'm going to get some, I'm sure I've got some invisible thread from when I used to do my sewing, which is a really, really strong, like nylon, see-through thread. Who's Fred? Thread, a bit like a fishing wire. And I'm going to put possibly a loop there and a loop there, so you can't really see it. Or I may even just loop across here because there is a hole there as well, and just hang it from the back and just hang it from invisible thread and do it that way. So I think that may be the way forward. Just get this glue off my hands again. So I'm like this with painting, no good with stuff. If anything ever happens, I always end up wearing it. Crafting wise, you know, I was always the one that was sat at the end of the desk that was covered in the paint and the glue and everything else. So let's just have a quick look at these and see how we're going. This one is drying really, really well, really, really clear, look. say even the bits where probably didn't even need to wipe it off, look, 'cause it's just as it's drying, it's going clear. So that's the little mat. The little bag, I did put quite a bit on, but it's starting to come back now. You can see the gems are starting to come through. The little pooch is still looking a bit grey. I think it's maybe been frightened, it's gone white overnight. And then of course the 2 wreaths. Oh, before I go, I've been making this one into a card. This is one of the Smashing the Special, I think it's a hibiscus wreath. This has been sealed, and I'm just making this into a large, it's like a 10-inch by 10-inch card. I've just folded the card, fastened it at the back there. If you want details on card making, I can do some of that. But yeah, I've just looped it over there, and then looped it over there in the middle, and then I will cover that either with ribbon or I'll be putting an insert into the card, and then I've just got the decorations to do. So that's that one. And then these are the small, like, little overall gem paintings, and I'd already sealed these, but I thought I'll put some put the names on these of the people I'm giving them to. I've used peel off stickers, and then I've gone over with the gloss because I thought it's quite bubbly, this, and it looks as though these have stuck. Yeah, I mean it's still a little bit damp, but yeah, so I've used the clear gloss, the crystal art gloss, just to go over the peel off stickers, just to help them stay on a little bit as well. So it looks like that's worked, so I'm pleased with that. Oh, and I've just put a little flower in her hair coming out there as well. But yeah, I just thought that I want to put the names on them, but they're going to come off, you know, otherwise you're going to be using really big clunky glue. But yeah, that's, you know, I mean, if you tried desperately to peel it off, but just rubbing your fingers over it now, it's not moving, and I'm doing that quite firmly. So that's just another little tip. If you do want to use peel off stickers, you can then seal on top of them as well. Okay, well, I think that's me done. I think I've waffled on quite a bit. So thanks for joining me while I've just worked on sealing all these projects and getting things tidied up. I have still got all the gems to put away though. That's going to be a mammoth task. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.